Chairman. Good morning. So once again, I'm Eves Gonzalez, Head of Government Affairs and Public Policy for Google in the Philippines. It's an honor to be able to share with you today how YouTube combats the spread of misinformation on the platform using our 4Rs responsibility framework. This is something that we consider core to our responsibility work. It is a complex and difficult challenge, but something that we're committed to tackling. YouTube's mission is to give everyone a voice and show them the world. Over the past 20 years, YouTube has grown into a platform where billions of monthly users are sharing and learning from one another with over 500 hours of video uploaded every minute.
Ah,
YouTube addresses the challenge using the 4Rs responsibility framework.
dali lang.
Remove content that violates YouTube's policies, raise up authoritative sources for news and information, reduce recommendations of borderline content, and reward trusted creators. By employing this framework, YouTube seeks to balance its commitments to preserving an open internet and being a positive contributor to a safe, healthy, and well informed society. Certain types of misleading or deceptive content with serious risk of egregious harm are not allowed on YouTube and are removed. This includes certain types of misinformation that can cause real world harm, election misinformation, and medical misinformation. General misinformation includes certain types of technically manipulated content that can cause real world harm, such as content that has been technically manipulated or doctored in a way that misleads users and may pose a serious risk of egregious harm, for example, deepfakes. This attributed content may pose a serious risk of egregious harm by falsely claiming that footage from a past event is from a current one, which experts on this committee have previously referred to as malinformation. We also prohibit certain types of content that may negatively impact free and fair democratic elections. This can include content that could materially discourage voting, content that advances false claims related to the technical eligibility requirement for current political candidates, and incitement to interfere with democratic processes. YouTube also doesn't allow content that poses a serious risk of harm by spreading medical misinformation that contradicts local health authorities or the World Health Organization's guidance. Enforcing policies is a nuanced decision-making process. It is important to underscore that YouTube protects videos that have a clear educational, documentary, scientific, and artistic purpose, together called EDSA exceptions. To help determine whether a video might qualify for an EDSA exception, we look at multiple factors including the video title, descriptions, and the context provided in the video's audio or imagery. But this is not a free pass to spread harmful misinformation or promote hateful rhetoric. Everyone is subject to community guidelines, from private citizens to the most visible public figures. Quarterly Community Guidelines Enforcement Report, which gives insights into the volume of flags and actions we take on content that violates our policies and the impact that technology has in aiding that enforcement. In the third quarter of 2024, we removed over 9.1 million videos for violating our policies, 4.8 million channels, and 1.3 billion comments. In the third quarter of 2024, over 80,000 videos globally were removed for violating our misinformation policies. Content that violates our guidelines is flagged by a mix of automated detection and human reporting. Around 97% were automatically flagged by AI systems, 2% were flagged by users, and 1% flagged by organizations and government agencies. In addition to removing content that violates our policies, we also track the percentage of views on YouTube that are generated by this content. We refer to this metric as the violative view rate, or VVR. VVR is our North Star for measuring our progress on removing content that violates community guidelines as quickly as possible. In the third quarter of 2024, the VVR was 0.11% until 0.12%, meaning that for every 10,000 views of content on YouTube, only 11 to 12 of those views are of violative content. YouTube also elevates authoritative sources for news and information and provides context for viewers. YouTube raises authoritative voices for newsworthy events in search results and watch panels. Another example is the breaking news shelf. When a major breaking news event happens, the breaking news shelf appears directly on the homepage, featuring relevant videos from authoritative news sources. Similarly, if a viewer searches
Hi,
for a particular news topic on YouTube,
Pamasjik.
they will see a top news shelf near the
Tadera.
top of the results, featuring relevant videos from
Thank you
authoritative
for dropping
sources.
by.
The same goes for health-related searches. When you search for a specific topic, such as diabetes, for example, our health content shelf will highlight videos that come from authoritative sources. YouTube also equips our users with additional context to help them make their own decisions about the content that they consume. To do this, YouTube highlights text-based information about certain events, topics, and publishers from third-party sources using information panels across YouTube. This can be related to evergreen topics for misinformation or to provide information about the publishers themselves. For example, whether they are funded in whole or in part by a government. Across all of these topics, we aim to surface content that would be helpful to individual users. YouTube now also requires creators to disclose to viewers when realistic content a viewer could easily mistake for a real person, place, scene, or event, is made with altered or synthetic media, including generative AI. Labels that reflect this disclosure will then appear. For most videos, a label will appear in the expanded description, but for videos that touch on more sensitive topics like health, news, elections, or finance, YouTube will also show a more prominent label on the video itself. In some cases, YouTube may also add a label even when a creator hasn't disclosed it, especially if the use of altered or synthetic content has the potential to confuse or mislead viewers. Just as we work to raise authoritative content where accuracy and authoritativeness are key, we also strive to reduce the spread of content that, while not violating our policies, can still misinform users in harmful ways. This might include conspiracy theory videos or content that crosses the line of what is acceptable. While this content can remain on YouTube, we don't recommend it to users or surface it prominently in search results. Finally, for 15 years, YouTube has had a revenue sharing model, the YouTube Partner Program or YPP. YouTube views monetization on its platform as a privilege. Creators must be accepted into YPP to be eligible to monetize their content. A key eligibility requirement for YPP is to follow YouTube's monetization policies, which include our community guidelines, terms of service, and advertiser-friendly guidelines. These policies apply to creators' channels as a whole and not just to individual videos. Over the past few years, YouTube has taken steps to strengthen the requirement for monetization so that spammers, impersonators, and other bad actors can't hurt the system or take advantage of creators meeting the eligibility requirements. Because of this unique model, YouTube has a natural, long-term incentive to live up to its responsibility. Advertisers, viewers, creators, and media partners do not want to be associated with harmful content. YouTube works hard every day to make the right calls on balancing openness and responsibility, and its advertisers, users, and creators hold YouTube accountable. For more information, we are sharing these statements for the benefit of the committee. With that, thank you again, Mr. Chairman, for this opportunity to hear our inputs with this committee today.
Thank you, Attorney James Gonzalez. Would there be any questions from the members of the committee?
Mr. Chairman, just a clarification.
Yes, Member Sir.
Yes, Attorney Gonzalez, would you be able to tell this committee kung how many of our vloggers, the ones who use the YouTube social media platform, are able to monetize? Would you be able to tell us that? And if you can, what is the ballpark figure of the amount of the revenues that these vloggers make?
Mr. Chairman, I think tens of thousands of Filipino creators are in the YouTube partnership program.
And all of them are monetizing.
Once you are in the YouTube partnership program, then that means that you are monetizing your content.
And would you be able to tell us, give us a ballpark figure as to how much revenues do these vloggers make?
I think Google, as a public company, is able to disclose its revenues, but I would not have the ability to give you the specific details for the
I understand, yeah. But the reason why I asked that, Mr. Chair, is because we'd like to find out what motivates the vloggers, the so-called vloggers. I'm not generalizing, but what I'm saying is that there are very few of them who actually are motivated by the monetization by these social media platforms. And the only objective is to generate engagements, a higher number of engagements, in order to convert this to cash. Tama, di ba? I think that's the motivation of some of these bloggers who peddle fake news. And you know naman how it is, no? When a fake news is being posted online, people has different reactions. One would probably, if one sees it, probably would say, totoo ba ito? Or the other would say, totoo ito. Kasi galing ito kay ganyan. Or would say na, teka nga, tanong ko nga kay ano, ipasa ko ito. So that creates engagements and increases the number who actually has seen a post that could be fake or could be false.
Takot lang kayo.
Anong mechanism meron si YouTube to be able to limit, if not eliminate, these kinds of peddling of falsehoods?
Mr. Chair, I'd just like to share some relevant provisions of the advertiser-friendly guidelines which all YouTube creators need to comply with. So some of the things prohibited are inappropriate language,
Wait lang. Nag-break data.
shocking content, hateful and derogatory content, as well as incendiary and demeaning content.
Does YouTube recognize vulgar languages or let's say yung pagmumura? Does YouTube consider this as obscene, vulgar, therefore gives them the right to take it down?
In certain cases, that might fall under incendiary and demeaning. So let me just read what is stated. Content that is gratuitously incendiary, inflammatory, or demeaning may not be suitable for advertising.
Okay, so kasi the reason why I asked that, parang it seems that napapabayaan natin yung mga nagmumura. Di ba? Kung yung tao na nagmumura, na gumagamit, nagpo-post ng kanilang mga content online ay nagmumura, character lang nila yun. Maaaring pinalaki sila ng mga magulang nila na pinayagan silang magmura. Pero the question is there a mechanism? Yung YouTube ba, pagka nakita niyang nagmumura, ano yan, kahit man lang sa 92, di ba, yung merong, paano tawag doon? Yung imbes na nagpatuloy nagmumura, parang yung parang ini-stop yung word na yun or something. Meron ba kayong ganung mechanism?
Wala.
So as mentioned, if the content of the creator is already violative of our advertiser-friendly guidelines, YouTube might enforce some monetization policies.
Yes, but do they recognize yung vulgar languages na Tagalog, which gives them a ground to take it down? Do they recognize that?
YouTube does have language experts in Filipino and other local dialects.
So these are not AI generated. Kumbaga, hindi nila tinatranslate. Walang mechanism na
There is a combination of both machine learning and AI assisted technologies, but at the same time, we also do have human reviewers who are fluent in the local dialect.
So human reviewers. So it's still dependent pa rin siya sa mga human reviewers.
Combination, Your Honor.
Okay, kasi alam mo, I'm sure you will agree with me na maraming mga vloggers na para lang maka-generate ng mapansin, ika nga, no? Nagmumura, no? In fact, bastos di ba? Hindi naman natin sila masisisi o hindi natin masisisi kung paano sila pinalaki ng kanilang mga magulang dahil siguro, pinalaki silang bastos di ba? Yun lang sinabi sa akin ni Congressman Marcoleta na hindi dapat ganun. Dahil alam mo, tinuturuan natin yung ating mga anak na maging magalang, di ba? Na maging respectful. Hindi yung vulgar na bastos. Di ba, aling batikusin ka, huwag ka lang magmumura. Kasi subukan mong sabihin sa akin harapan yung ganun. Ano yung pakiramdam mo? Di ba? Pero kung online, kung magmura, akala mo ang tapang. Diba? Kaya nga sabi ni Congressman Marcoleta sa akin, hindi dapat pinapayagan yung mga ganun. Because we have law. Pupunta kayo rito, kung hanapin nyo kami, kung magmura kayo, something like that. Tingnan natin ano nang mangyayari. Away itong mangyayari. Kung magharap-harapan kayo, pagmumurahan kayo, di ba? Alam mo naman, hindi naman normal yung ganun. Ngayon, because of the advent of social media, people like, perhaps, maybe expressing their dissent, or maybe dislike to a person, to an institution, to an organization by using vulgar language. Diba? Siguro pagka ganun ng tao na mura ng mura, hindi mo naman natin masabing walang pinag-aralan yun. Wala lang pinagkatandaan malamang, no? At hindi dinidisiplina ng magulang niya. Kawawa ang magulang nun. Nakakahiya. Diba? Nakakahiya na yung anak mo bastos, ganyan. Kung magsalita pa ng mga kapastusan, parang walang anak na mga babae. And that is the reason why I asked that if ever there are mechanisms in that social platform that can control that. If not, that's fine. That's okay.
Mr. Chair, so let me reiterate, all content monetizing with ads must follow our advertiser-friendly content guidelines. And one of the advertiser-friendly guidelines is inappropriate language. Content that contains profanity or vulgarity at the start or throughout the majority of the video may not be suitable for advertising. And some of the enforcement mechanisms that can happen to a creator that violates these policies are, number one, withhold, adjust, charge back, or offset earnings or payment. Number two, limit ad revenue from the video. Number three, suspend participation in the YouTube partnership program. And finally, suspend or even terminate the YouTube channel.
Okay. Last question, Mr. Chair. I hope you don't mind. My colleagues would not mind. I just wanted to ask, why do you monetize? Why? What is the logic behind monetization? Because if you monetize, this probably is the main motivator or the main motivation of these people who are engaged in these kinds of ads in the YouTube. Bakit kayo nagmo-monetize?
Mr. Chair, monetization through advertising is what pays for the service. So the ability for YouTube to be able to provide a free service to billions of people all around the world is supported by advertising.
So basically, it's advertising.
That's correct.
So commercial. Tama? So talagang generation of revenues. Diba? So that's all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Attorney.
Any other member who would like to ask questions from Attorney Gonzalez? Mr. Chair, not a question, but a clarification.
Ay, naku.
Clarification, Mr. Chair, just to clarify for the committee, wala po yung TikTok and si Facebook.
Lahat na lang, anuhin.
Mr. Chair, just to clarify, wala pong Facebook and TikTok attending po today. Okay.
Parang lahat na lang kontrolin na. Ma-YouTube, ma-TikTok, Facebook.
To question, Your Honor. We have invited the Meta Platform Incorporated, which has Facebook. And according to the letter, Facebook Philippines does not own, operate, control, or host the Facebook services or the Instagram services in the Philippines. So I think, Your Honor, we have to send an invitation to Meta Platform Incorporated in the United States. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. We just wanted to see clarification on what other platforms is. Okay, thank you. Before we proceed, please allow the chair to recognize the presence of the Honorable Franz Castro and online, the Honorable Arnan Palahigan. Welcome po kayo sa hearing.
Ayan, likot-likot niyo.
Yes,
Yeah.
before you proceed, Honorable Castro.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair. Follow up lang, Mr. Chair, dun sa questions ni Representative Barfers as regards to the monetization of content sa online, no? Particularly YouTube, right? So, I'm just curious po. So, sa namamonetize po yung, depende yun sa viewers, tama ba? O sa advertisement na pumapasok doon sa content